I know. I've been quiet on this channel for a while, but not because I didn't have something to say, but because I had something important to figure out. As many of you know, back in 2020, I started traveling to Rwanda twice a year and sincerely thinking about relocating there permanently. But when I returned to the US in 2023, my money ran out. And I haven't been back there since. You know, I had built up a nice little nest egg. I worked my behind off, saved my money, had a nice little nest egg. And I basically didn't work for 3 years. I just lived off of investments and my savings. But that came to an abrupt and uncomfortable end. The investments I had just kind of vanished and everything just kind of crashed. Bam, poof, gone. And I was forced to go back into the job market. Luckily for me, I found a job fairly quickly, but after 8 months, I lost that job. And there's supposed to be no age discrimination in the workplace, but at age 67, I found that, unfortunately, there is. And I couldn't find another job for the life of me. And trust me, I tried everywhere. I even thought about being a greeter at Walmart, something I said that I would never do. So, to be totally honest, I didn't want another job. Heck, I had worked all my life. So, I didn't want another job. So, I was resigned to living off of my Social Security income, which, like for many, isn't enough to sustain the type of lifestyle I want to live. Now, shortly thereafter, my mom got really sick, and along with my sister, I became her primary caregiver until she passed in 2025. And that event really shook me. In fact, it rocked me to the core. We were so close. And it caused me to start looking at things differently. And so one of the things I couldn't ignore anymore is that I never want to be in a position where money isn't flowing and I'm dependent on one source of income. Never again. Not because I'm afraid, but because I value options, real options. And you know, freedom feels different when your money is flowing and it's not tied to one source of income. So if you've been following this channel for travel content centered around Africa, that part of the vision is still alive. I still believe in traveling to Africa, and I'm going there soon. I still believe in global living. But one of the things that I understand through this last experience is that, and this is something that can be overlooked or understated, and that is travel without income flexibility is really just temporary. You know, there are so many people who have the intention to not only travel abroad, but to live abroad permanently, only to return home because of income. So that's why I'm building something more sustainable and intentional now. So I started asking myself, what kind of income can I create that also travels? What can I build once and manage from anywhere in the world? Think about that for a moment. What can you build one time that creates income and manage it from anywhere in the world? That's where digital products come in. And no, I'm not talking about building an empire, just smart, steady, monthly income that creates breathing room, a real financial cushion you can relax on. See, what I know is this: another $800, $1,000, $1,500 per month will not only create more options, but a peace of mind that will also allow people to remain in those places that they've chosen to live permanently. Especially if you're considering living overseas, that additional money works wonders. So in this next chapter of my life, I'm designing a lifestyle of freedom funded by smart digital income. And so for me, the goal isn't permanent relocation, but a different type of retirement where I get to travel the world in my own way, on my own terms, and never have to worry about money. With an income that moves whenever I do. In other words, location independent income. Let me say that again. Location independent income. Wherever I'm at, I'm making money. Some people refer to it as remote working, but I ain't working. I'm done working. Now it's about creating lifestyle freedom, creating valuable content, creating ideas and solutions, creating connections, friends, and allies all around the world. That's the move. Now, I guess I'm joining the ranks of the digital nomads. You should consider that as well. Not that you have to build a YouTube channel or be all over social media, anything like that, but creating digital products that allows you to be anywhere in the world and make money. So if that resonates with you, you're in the right place. I'll leave a simple resource in the description if you're curious about what I'm talking about and where you can start. And don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And one more thing before I go. Let's get a conversation started. Drop in the comments how many African countries you've traveled to so far, how many African countries you want to travel to in the future, if you plan on, living on the continent or you just want to visit. How many other countries in the world are you thinking about traveling to outside of Africa or different from Africa? What is the number one limitation that you're having right now in terms of why you haven't done all these things so far, such as, is it time? Is it money? Is it family constraints? Such as, you got to wait for the kids to finish school. You got to wait for retirement, etc. Drop in the comments and let us know, and let's get this conversation started. So again, as always, I'm wishing you peace and love. I want to thank you for hanging out with me today, and we'll see you again next week.